Have you ever had a business idea so good that you did everything perfectly? You bought your stock, you branded your business, and you even promoted it to all social media platforms. But some way, somehow, that business ended up not making profit, or it even ended up bankrupt. What if I told you that there was probably 5 things that you did that you were not aware of, that if you fix today, your business will skyrocket in profit? My name is Lushane Mhlanga. I am a self-made entrepreneur. I have started from zero and made over tens and thousands of rands across multiple businesses. And in today's lesson, I am going to teach you the exact 5 mistakes that are killing your business's profit. Starting with the first one is, you need to think in generations, not in quarters. Here's a question for you. What is the purpose of you starting your business? If you thought of money, well, I have news for you. You see, back when I had made tens and thousands of rands across multiple businesses, I had a mentor of mine who at the time was a successful business person. This mentor used to mentor me on how businesses worked. I used to have the mentality that when I want to start a business, the only goal out of it was to make enough money to travel to the most expensive places, to wear the most expensive clothes, to buy the most expensive and latest electronic gadgets, do everything that is top tier, and do everything that is materialistic. Until one day, when me and him were sat down and he asked me the very same question: what is the purpose of you wanting to start a business? And I gave him the typical answer: I want to make money so I can do this and that. And he just looked at me and smirked. And he was like, that shows that you are an amateur. And immediately when he said those words to me, I was confused, because I told this man the truth. I wanted to make enough money so I can travel. So he proceeded to say to me, you see, let's take that idea of yours and run with it. Let's take now, fast forward to 3 years later. You have a business and you are making tens and thousands of rands. Everything goes good. You have a wife and 2 kids. You are traveling each and every week. You are going to the most expensive places. You are eating the most expensive food, A-grade stuff. You are dressing in the most expensive top tier leather and most expensive suits out there. You're driving the latest car. Everything goes good. You are living life to its fullest. Then let's fast forward 2 years afterwards. Something tragic and horrible happens to you and you pass away. What needs to happen to your wife and kids when you are gone? Because your goal was to make enough money to buy all of those materialistic things. Now that you are gone, your wife and 2 kids, they have to fend for themselves, because the person who used to provide for them is no longer there. They need to struggle and start from zero in order to reach the baseline of survival because you are no longer there. Does that sound like a good way to start a business? Does that sound like a good motivation for you to have a business that can only produce profit in the next upcoming quarters? And right there, that shifted my whole perspective, because I understood that when I was building my businesses, I was only focusing on the next 3 months. How much money can I make in the next 3 months? Forgetting that I need to build something that can run even when I am no longer around. That mindset shift led to me starting to build businesses that had systems that can even run when I am no longer there. I was no longer focusing on profit next month. I was focusing on building a system that can stand the test of time. And that is what you need to understand and you need to figure out for yourself. You need to build something that can withstand the test of time, something that can run even without you. And if you can build that, then you have a strong foundation inside of your business. The second mistake that is killing your business's profit is you need to stop ego hiring. You see, a study was conducted in the entrepreneurial space, and they found out that 73% of small business owners lose their businesses due to ego hiring. What is ego hiring, you might be asking yourself? Ego hiring is when you, as a small business owner, instead of performing a task in your business, you go out and you hire someone to perform the task for you. Not because the business is at a stage of hiring a new employee, just because you are lazy to perform the task. Most small entrepreneurs of small businesses, when they begin, they think that, oh, I need a new assistant, or I need a new accountant, or I need a new HR department, or I need a new manager, I need a new operations, this and that. The truth of the matter is they do not need those people. All that they are having is ego hiring. And they are doing this because they are lazy to perform the tasks. Here's the truth. When you are starting out as an entrepreneur, you are the business. You are the accountant. You are the marketer. You are the HR department. You are customer service, and you are operations. Everything runs from you and is run by you. The moment you say, I am lazy to do this tedious work, I want to hire someone to do this for me because I don't have time to do it, is the moment you are ego hiring. The moment you have to hire someone is when you are losing money by not having a new person to work for that specific job. That is the only time you ever hire inside of your business, not because you are lazy. The third mistake that is killing your business's profit is you need to stop mixing love with payroll. You see, I learned this lesson the hard way because it almost costed me 30K in profit. I remember a time when my business was having a good season. We were making profits each and every month. Things were going good. And I had the mentality of like, whenever you are in life, you are leveling up and you are doing good, it is your job and your duty to make sure that your inner circle levels up with you. Whether that be your friends, whether that be your family, when you are leveling up, you need to make sure that you level them up too. But boy, was I wrong, because I had to learn the hard way. So on that particular season, when we were performing very well, profits were rolling in, clients were coming in, and we had so many clients that we needed people to work for us. A cousin of mine approached me and told me that, you know what, I've been struggling to find a job. Can you please help me? I am in need of a job. I need to make extra money for myself so I can make sure that I take care of myself. So I told him that it just so happens that we are performing well and we need a new sales manager. We need someone to make sure that you are talking to the client. I told him what he has to do. There is a list of copy and paste messages. Since I was the salesman inside of that business, I knew exactly how the customers interacted from start to Z. So I knew exactly how they would communicate with the business. So I wrote down a list of copy and paste messages for him. When a customer sends a message, you just copy this message and paste. When they send a new message, you copy the next one and you paste up until they buy a product. The only time me and you are only going to ever talk is when a customer has paid and you call me to say, this person has paid. Do you see the money being reflected into the account? And I confirm to you, that is the only time me and you are only going to ever talk. Can you do that? And he was like, yeah, I can do that. I promise you, I will not let you down. And I was like, okay, you start tomorrow. And after hanging up that phone call, I was feeling like a man. I was like, yeah, I'm finally doing what I said I would do. I'm uplifting my inner circle and I'm making sure that everyone in my circle is good each and every time. I'm a man. Tell me why 2 weeks later, I'm sitting down and I'm checking sales. We are dropping drastically. What the hell? We're having a good month. These 2 weeks, why is it that no one is buying everything? I log on into the workflow and as I checked, 3 days after hiring this person, people were not getting replied. This means that customers were actually sending in DMs, but no one was there to service them. No one was there to reply to them. So I immediately called him and I asked him, man, sales is down. What is happening? No, the problem is I've been doing this. I didn't have time to do this. The problem is, I'm sorry. I promise you, I'll make sure that I get back on top of it today. And I was like, this person, because I knew him on a personal level, I knew what he was capable of. If I was someone who didn't know him, I'd believe that. But because I knew him on a personal level, I knew what kind of person he was, I knew exactly that he was lying. But I was like, you know what? Let me just, maybe it's a mistake. Let me just tell him to know what, fix it. So I told them to say, if you do not reply to these people, I don't get paid. And if I don't get paid, you don't get paid. Do you understand what that means? You need to make sure that you get back onto these people with lightning speed, because you are driving this business to the ground. Do you promise me that from today you will make sure that you perform and start replying to these people, because you are costing me money? And if you don't do that, I'll be left with no choice but to have to replace you. Now I promise you, I'll make sure that I get back to it. Now I promise. I was like, okay, click. 5 days later, I checked the workflow again. This person just worked for the next 3 days after the previous phone call. The next 2 days, same story. Call him again, same excuse. And it was at that moment when I realized that, you know what, when people know you on a personal level, they don't feel like they have to perform at the performance that it is needed in order for that business to actually reach the place that you wanting to reach, because they know you on a personal level. They think that it won't be easy for you to tell them to say, you know what, you need to work hard because they are your cousin, because they are your brother, because they are your sister, because they are your friend. You won't tell them what to do. You won't make them work as hard as they need to work, so they get comfortable. So after realizing that, I decided to just replace that person. 6 days later, after replacing that person with a stranger, sales started to rise again. Because this person did not know who I was on a personal level. He took the opportunity seriously because he understood that his job was on the line. So that is why I learned that you need to make sure that you separate your inner circle and your payroll. The money needs to be made separately. Your inner circle's relationships needs to be nurtured separately. The fourth mistake that is probably killing your business's profit and you are not aware of it is ignoring cash leaks. You need to stop ignoring cash leaks inside of your business. I cannot believe the number of people that call themselves entrepreneurs but still are ignoring cash leaks inside of their businesses. This is my student. This person has a business that was performing well. He was making money each and every month. He was closing deals and he was pulling in 4 figures each and every month. Things were going good for him. But somehow, each and every month, his accountant used to tell him that this business is at risk. We need more sales. We need more people to buy because it is at the risk. So after hopping on a one-on-one call with me inside of Elite Life Strategies, he told me and explained everything to me. And I just said to him, you know what? Give me your accounting books and your business account from today to the previous 6 months. I want to look at your books from the previous 6 months till today. Come with them, your business books and your business account. He came with them, and when we sat down, we looked at his accounting books and we looked at his business account. And after analyzing the first 3 months, I knew exactly what this person's problem was. You see, this person was a great salesman. He was a great marketer. He knew how to talk to customers. He knew how to convince customers. He knew how to get money out of customers and sell them products. But what he didn't know was how to grow his business, because he didn't understand the numbers inside of his business. He didn't understand how money needs to be taken care of. So I told him that you are a great salesman, but what you lack is the accounting side of your business. Because if you don't know how the numbers go, there's two problems that you will face. The first one is you will be unable to know when you need to save up, when you need to upscale, where you need to allocate budgets into marketing, into hiring new staff. You don't know all of that because you don't know the numbers inside of your business. You don't know how money is supposed to work. So you are unable to manage that business and grow it into the next level. That is a problem that is in front of you if you are not capable of reading the numbers. The second thing I told him is, if you are unable to read the numbers, even your own accountant is able to steal money from you, because you cannot tell whether this money truly was drawings or your accountant just wrote it down and withdrew the money and took it into their pockets. 6 months after being inside of Elite Life Strategies, he learned accounting and he understood exactly how money works. Taught him each and every single aspect of accounting, and 7 months in, that business that was a 4-figure business he managed to turn it into a 5-figure business, and ever since he never looked back. That is the power of accounting. And if you are incapable of reading the numbers inside of your business, then my friend, you are losing each and every second, because you are unable to understand where to put your money and how money is supposed to flow inside of your business. If you cannot maintain a healthy cash flow inside of your business can turn tomorrow to be bankrupt and you wouldn't even know. The fifth but not least mistake that is killing your business's profit is, you need to build real, not viral. In a world filled with trends, hacks, new AI trends, new AI automations, new this, new hacks, new one-person business models, the real business people build real businesses that solve real world life problems. If your business cannot even fill this blank, then my friend, you have a business that is a ticking time bomb. My business solves this problem for these people. If you cannot fill the blanks on that statement, you don't have a business. You are having a trend. You need to understand that when the entire internet is giving you hacks, tricks, new business models, real people, real business people, real millionaires, real billionaires are solving real world life problems for people. If you can check the top 100 of the top richest people alive, and you look at each and every business that got those people into becoming millionaires and billionaires, you'd find out that they are solving one problem for one people. One problem for one people. One problem for one people. And if you understand that, then you are literally ready to understand how to solve other people's problems. In this video that will appear here, I show you exactly how to solve other people's problems in great detail. But here's a summary of it. There's something that I call the universal value exchange quadrant. which means that there are 4 ways that a business can solve other people's problems. Any real business that you can think of today solves other people's problems in one of 4 ways. The first one is you can solve other people's problems by using a product. The second way is you can solve other people's problems by using a service. The third way is you can solve other people's problems by using knowledge. And the fourth but not least is you can solve other people's problems by using an investment. If you understand that, my friend, you are literally ready to build a business that can last and stand the test of time, because you are solving real problems for real people. You are not chasing trends. You are building something that is real. And if you understand all of those mistakes and you correct them today, my friend, you are literally ready to start building a business that can skyrocket in profit. So let's summarize everything that we went through today. The first one is you need to think in generations, not in quarters. You need to build a business that can last and run with even when you are no longer there. You need to build systems inside of your business, not something that can profit for the next 3 months and stop working afterwards. The second one is you need to stop ego hiring. You only hire people when you are losing money by not having an accountant. That is the only time you have to hire an accountant, not when you are lazy, not when you cannot do the tasks. The third one is you need to stop mixing love with payroll. Keep your inner circle's relationships separate and your payroll separate. Because the moment you mix those 2 things, you are having a formula for a drama series that will probably never end and will ruin your personal relationships. The fourth is you need to stop ignoring cash leaks. Master the numbers inside of your business in order for your business to be able to be taken to the next level. And the fifth but not least is you need to think or build real, not viral. Ignore the trends. Build something that can last and solves real people's problems. And I promise you, you will make money each and every time. Trends come and go, but the real thing lasts forever. So like always, my friend, if you want to learn how to start from zero and scale your business and make tens and thousands of friends, join 3,000 students inside of my Academy Elite Life Strategies that are turning in 5-figure profits each and every month. Watch this video right here.